Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Since it's a very interesting week, I wanted to do a video. So you could say these two times that we hit this line or pushed off of it. Look at these are some targets to look out for because, um, like I said, the 50-day monthly is probably our next target once we break this guy, the 306, the 30 month. The 50 month comes into play. And look, last time we hit this line, pushed off the line, one time we closed at 1834, one time we closed at a little higher, 1924-ish or something. So I would say those hitting this line, hitting it, tapping it, piercing it, in 2021, you rallied above it, went to this top trend line. So I adjusted, I took this trend line, ran it down, and guess why we keep hitting 261? We broke inside this 2021 candlestick. Does that mean we go straight to the top? Well, if we did, I already showed you it's about 2760 right now. Today, 2760 is pretty close. Then you have these 18s over here, right? Those could be something. You have the bottoms of these guys over here, 13s, 13s, 18s. Um, And then you have the top of this guy, and then see how all this big fall, um, and then all this. There's a bunch of junk right here at 773 ish, 758. So 758, 13, 18, and 27 are my monthly. Is this a big pivot? This one's okay. 1150, as you can see here, it was major resistance. But do we break that this time? It'd be nice to go higher. It's actually 1330. So look at these pivots: 1291, 1340. So it'd be nice to at least hit 1340 and just break 10 cents over this. 1330 was after hours. It shows 1198, I believe, in market. Yeah, around 1185 on some programs. 11.99 or even 12 on some programs, but it was 13.31, I believe, after hours, if I remember correctly. So yeah, you have those kind of targets. Now, do we have something to push off of this lower line? We pushed off it here, went back to 18s. Pushed off it here, went back to 19s. Pushed off it here, went up 900%, was it? Well, you went from 1185 up to, that's also obviously a pivot, is the bottom of this candle, 1173, and then the top of it, well, it says right there in my thing, high was 125, so that'd be what, 11, 12, 24, 30, 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108. So that was what, 10x? So if we 10x'd from here, from pushing off that, 261 times 10, I'm just going to grab a calculator. It's just easier. 2610. Guess what? When the math starts mathing, so 2610 is not that far off. And this says we can backtest potentially 257 or something. That's why it's 258 overnight. I wouldn't mind hitting, but I don't think we will. I think we can push off this, and we're going to see. So if we 10x'd, it puts us almost exactly on this line. Like I just did the math, right? $26. Well, this is like 27. So can we 10x? Can we do it in 2 days? Can we do it or does it take two monthly candles? Do we go up one to say something like 11 and then pull back into the, pull back and then do another one? Or do we just do, Back to the Future? Do we go to 26, 28 straight up, 2 day rally or something crazy? we're going to see, or do we just sit here and close here for the month and then do it all next month or do whatever? I'm going to go into camp myself that you have a major level to push off of. And I'm going to go and stick with my guns, 758 on the low end in 2 days. I mean, you do have these lower pivots, 549. I don't think there'll be a problem myself, but you never know. You never know. Just because the structure, this V, you had a V type shape here, and you went all the way above to the next top range. I would say the least, yeah, there's 14, because you could say this is a bigger V, and it's going to go to this next top range over here, like 14, like I did in that video. Here, let me draw it for you again. And here, before I cancel this drawing, yeah, this was the drawing I put out, is that counting for the downtrend of 2021, you can go to 2760. And you're holding that 261 perfectly on the bottom line. So can you shoot right to the top line? How long does it take you? Can you boost off of 261? Crazy thing is, what did we do last month? I'll show you in a minute. Last month we had a big month, and our low was 161. Exactly. I'll show you right here. Look at that. Low 160. It was actually 161 on the retrace. So I think we hit 160 before, and then we retraced to 161 and then shot up and ended up having a big rally, or a decent rally, not the greatest. So again, we had this kind of falling pattern, V bottom, and then trace back to the top of this previous range. But now we have a giant V pattern, and we're seeing if we could trace back. Maybe it's to the top of this range. What we're thinking, right? Hold that. Yeah, can we trace back to the top of that range? Okay, so you have some lows here. Well, you have some lows here, and then you have a lower low. You have some lows here, you have a lower low, and you retrace back. So maybe we're going back to here right now. And we're saying the last time we rallied, we traced into these lower candles. Maybe we're going to trace into these mid candles and be up in here. But first things first, you got to start with breaking levels and having volume and something going on. We're not there right now. It seems crazy, but what happened? Well, that's how stocks are. They're tricky, or everybody'd be a quadrillionaire. Let's put in some other drawings here just while we're messing around. Let's see if the reversal bar, yeah. Let's see what this bottom would not. Yeah, that looks like a break and back test if I were to see one, right? So if you're on a monthly break and back test, all time break and back test, and we're on the back test now, right? See how like the bodies of those candles are all inside, and it follows the majority of the wicks, and any body that came above was totally rejected, and you broke out and back tested right here exactly where everything else is. I would say that's a good reason to go kaboom, if you're asking me. But that's just me. Here, I got to take off, somebody at the door, but there you go.